Okay, we are back for episode 14 of InTOXICated Masculinity.
We're up to 14?
Yep,
Wow.
14 episodes. Well, technically with you, it's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You cheated on me once.
Yeah, well, whatever. But yeah, so we're at episode 14, and happy Labor Day weekend.
Yes, tomorrow is Labor Day.
Well, even though we're not pregnant.
No.
But to all the...
Oh, I kind of look like I am.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But to all the pregnant mothers out there, happy Labor Day. Yeah.
Congratulations to all them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And we've got lots of stuff to talk about. It's fall. Well, almost
Not quite.
fall.
Technically still summer, but...
Beer-wise, it's fall.
Right.
Because the
we're
beer...
hitting the Oktoberfest, pumpkin spice ales area, so yeah.
Yeah, so we have two brand new fall type of beers to try, and we might as well just...
let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get one started. And this is a bottle, so even though that you just opened it up, I'll do it for you. And there you go. So it's yeah, there you go. There's your beer pour there.
This is a porter, so it almost looks like root beer.
Yeah, it does actually. It fizzes like root beer too. Mm-hmm. So this is from Four Peaks from Tempe, Arizona, and it's got a 5.1 ABV, and it's supposed to have, besides pumpkin, that's the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nutmeg, allspice, clove, ginger, all that good stuff.
Now, what about yams? I thought it said something about yams on here.
I think that might be our other one.
Yeah, this says pumpkin pie on it. Okay.
Yeah. So I think
maybe
our other one
is
Okay. Pumpkin and yam. And we're going to test this out, check in on Untapped like we always do.
Not the biggest porter fan, but this is not bad.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Here, let me take another one. Well, usually with porters, it would be maybe a little bit thicker.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Yeah, but actually not too bad.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, and it's because we were talking about this earlier. With spring and summer, you have your wheat ales and your blondes and stuff like that. And now that we're getting into like fall and Oktoberfest, we get more of the spice stuff,
right? And
which it's a nice change to go back into the pumpkins and the spice, and yeah. So we're happy to have all the pumpkin stuff coming out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that and Oktoberfest beers.
And
it's one of my favorite things about the fall.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Christmas stuff too that comes out.
That'll be coming out probably in November-ish. Yeah, all the winter and Christmas holiday ales.
Maybe even October.
Might be.
Start releasing the stuff early.
But I save those for the cold nights. I come home from work and it's cold out. That's when I like to have one of those.
Yeah, I do too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So what are we giving Four Peaks?
I gave it 3.5.
Okay, I was actually probably in the same realm of 3.5.
Yeah. I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting to like this one.
I'm kind of glad it's not heavy or thick.
Yeah, that's with a porter. I expected that. Porters and stouts. Usually, I have one, and I want something different.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So we will do our second beer here later on in the podcast. Right now, it's story time. Right?
Story time.
Yeah, story time. No, you went to a few different things, I guess.
Yeah.
And had beer, which...
A lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you checked into a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. But
so, yeah, just go ahead and start?
I'll dive right in.
Dive right in.
There is a good friend of mine. He lives in Philadelphia, and I met him at the M3 Rockfest. I've mentioned M3 many times on our podcast. It's like my favorite weekend of the year, and I've made a ton of friends back there. And he happened to be coming to Las Vegas a few weeks back for a heavy metal festival called Psycho Las Vegas.
Okay.
And he came last year, and we were supposed to meet up and have a drink. And it ended up not happening. Our schedules just conflicted, and we never got to get to hang out. So I was making sure I found a time to go see him this time. And I get there. It was at Resorts World. That's where this festival took place. It was all weekend long, Friday through Sunday. And I got there, and the first person I see when I walk in is another concert friend of mine who lives here in Vegas. Her name is Diana. We've been to many concerts. We don't go to the concerts together, but we always see each other at them. So I see her. I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm here to see John. I'm like, I'm here to see John. So not
Me?
you,
No,
not you, a different John.
Yeah.
And so we went and we found him, and we're just hanging out talking. And he mentioned there's stages all over the place. As soon as I walked in, I could hear the music playing in one of the bars right there on the left side, and I could see inside, even though I didn't buy the ticket yet. But I was kind of watching the one band playing, and then he's at the food court, and the food court had their own stage.
Playing music? No.
Yeah. And
Okay.
he's like, okay, yeah, there's a all-female Black Sabbath tribute getting ready to play here. And they weren't checking wristbands or anything there, so we just walked up to the stage and started watching it, and they were really good. And I'm just like, I got caught up in the whole atmosphere. It was a lot of fun. And I'm just like, the band was kicking ass, and I'm like, ah. And I knew that a band called Suicidal Tendencies was headlining later that night, and I was thinking, I hadn't seen them since I saw them open for Queensryche back in 1991.
Okay.
I was thinking, I'd like to see them again. So I went ahead and bought a ticket for that day, and the next day I was just into the scene. I was like, oh, I want to be a part of this. This is fun. So it's me, John, and his buddy Jimmy, and there's a couple other people. There was a girl named Anne Marie I met there, and then Diana's hanging out with us. And Diana didn't buy a ticket, but she's getting into all these shows. They're not checking wristbands. So I'm starting to think to myself, damn it, why did I spend the money? I could be watching all this for free. So, and the whole day went by, and she got into every show we went to without paying. And I was just like, I just wasted that money. Damn, I could have done this for free. But there's more on that later. I'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
We also saw a Motorhead tribute out by the pool. Yeah, there are 6 stages in total. 1 by the pool. 2 of them were in bars within the casino. 1 at the food court. There was one of the banquet rooms upstairs, and then they had the event center. The event center was where the big ones played. And we're just going from one venue to the next, checking in about as many bands as we can. I don't even know who most of them were. I was just going with the flow with the crowd we're hanging out with, and we're just walking around and checking them. Some better than others.
Okay.
There was some growl, the type stuff, which I hate.
Okay.
But and some screamo, which I wasn't into. But there were some other ones that were pretty darn good, really talented bands. And then we got to go see Suicidal Tendencies. We went to the main event center for that, and I think there were only 2 original members because the other 3 looked so young that I don't think they were born yet the last time I saw them. 1991, that's 31 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, these kids were young and playing in this band, and I'm like, wow, they were not born yet the last time I saw this band. And I don't know how true it is, but I heard later that one of the members is the son of Metallica's bass player.
Okay.
So, a nice little tidbit there. Had fun with that. It was a great day. The next day, went back. This time I picked them up. They were staying at the Rio instead of meeting them there, and I gave them a ride down. And we get there, and Diana joins us again. Still has not paid. And first band we see was The Growl. There was a band called, you'll love this name, Crematory Stench. That was the name of the band. 3-piece
God.
band. And they had the craziest drummer I've ever seen. Every song was death metal, high. What's the word I'm looking for? Just lots of energy and a really fast pace.
Energetic.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and
Such a simple word, and
I know. So anyway, we're watching this, and it ended, and I'm like, not the kind of band I want to see, but I really enjoyed watching the drummer. And then Diana said the same thing. She's like, I couldn't stop watching that drummer. He was amazing back there, just going crazy. But everyone went up and talked to him and was like, dude, you're a madman back there. And he, big smile, thanks, dude. You know, it was a lot of fun. And then we went up to the ballroom to see another band. And Diana takes off to go use the restroom. About 15 minutes go by. She hasn't come back. She got busted. They escorted her out. So she got away with it for a while, but eventually it caught up to her and they made her leave. So,
but I mean, if they're not checking,
well, they checked eventually because someone noticed she didn't have the wristband and they made her take off.
I mean, really, shouldn't you punish the people that weren't checking? I mean,
Maybe they did. I don't know. But
okay.
so then I was like, okay, well, maybe it was worth paying the money for the ticket now.
Yeah,
Because I get to stay and she doesn't.
Yeah, you could have been
Yeah.
86th, you know.
Right. And we saw some more groups that day all over the place. We were just walking, and it was all general admission, so there was no seats anywhere. So you had to stand, and we're walking. Later that day, it was really catching up with me. I'm not young anymore, you know.
Well, I mean, maybe, I mean, were you, I mean, you were drinking, right?
Early in the day, yeah. I had
Okay.
maybe 3 early in the day, but I had to drive home, so I was being careful.
And I mean, were you eating too?
We had some pizza, and I ate before I went. But yeah, but we went to the event center and saw 2 really good bands there. And then there was another one coming up before the headliner, which was Merciful Fate, who I wanted to see. But I was like, oh, a whole nother band. And it was like half hour to 45 minutes between sets. They were taking forever. And I'm just like, oh. I was like, so I went back out into the casino and just found a slot machine that nobody was playing. And I just sat there. I didn't play. I just sat and was hanging out. And then I felt my eyes getting heavy. And I was just like, I don't know if I can make it. So I ended up not staying for the whole night. I ended up taking off a little early. And,
Well, you know, normally too, you take an afternoon nap,
yeah,
which is great. Hey, I'm not knocking it.
Right.
Afternoon naps are great.
they're the best. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's you could have like what 6 to 8 hours of normal sleep, but then you need that little afternoon nap to feel somewhat productive, I
Yeah.
guess.
But the one band I really wanted to see was Merciful Fate, and I ended up missing out on it because I just couldn't make it. I was tired, and
Wow.
I texted John and was like, sorry, dude, I'm calling it a night. I'm too tired. I'll see you next time, basically. And
I guess, you know, too, because, and we'll talk about this later with the Colorado Beer Fest. A couple of people were saying take B12 to, like, really, like...
I've heard that gives you a little pick-me-up.
Yeah, like, take the B12 before bed of, you know, before you sleep and do your thing the next day. And you'll feel pretty energetic and more, I guess, more productive, I guess.
I might try that.
So, but it's supposed to be taken in like small doses, like small milligrams, because if you take too much, then you can get like nausea or dizziness, headaches, stuff like that. But I was looking it up, like B12, like, and they were being very specific before bed. I was like, why? You know, it's like, but yeah.
I used to take that when I was younger because people told me it would give me energy, and I never noticed the difference, so I stopped taking it. But
you know, because I guess if you can't do your afternoon nap, at least try to do something so you're more.
Well, that brings me to my plan for next year if I decide to do this festival again, which I'm leaning towards, is to actually get a room. And then if that happens, I can just go to my room, take a quick power nap, And
So you are actually really heavy considering doing it again next year.
yeah, I would like to, and like I said, get a room, and also when the lineups are announced, and I find out because I didn't know who 90% of these groups I never heard of, so I had no idea. I was trusting the other people I was hanging out with to lead me to the good ones, you know. But this time when they announce the lineups, I'm gonna do a little research and YouTube them, find out which ones I actually like, and I can map out my plan on who I'm gonna see when.
And how many days?
It's 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's 6 stages that are all going on, so you got to pick and choose where you're gonna be.
So now you have actually two. I mean, this one's not really big like your M3.
No,
but like you've got two like kind of pretty cool music festival event things
right.
to
And
go
this
to
one's
now.
right here in town, so I don't have to travel.
Yeah, you don't
for
have to
it.
travel. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
So, yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm really glad I went. I had a great time. I didn't think I was gonna like it because I thought it was too heavy. And some of the bands were too heavy, but I found other ones that I liked. Too.
Like for you, that
yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, I'm into 80s hair band stuff. That's not real heavy.
Well, like
and I
I
like
guess
Metallica and Queensryche and stuff.
like I guess if we were talking heavy, that would kind of turn you off, like Gwar, you know.
Not so much Gwar, but like death metal where they're not really singing, they're growling.
Okay.
Stuff like that I'm not into.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much was that completion.
And I really liked the Casino of Resorts World. That was the first time I'd been there since they opened it. It's only been open like a year or so.
Yeah.
And really nice inside.
And I can't remember, did you have anything fancy wise, craft beer wise?
No.
It was pretty straightforward.
They had some IPAs and things like that because every location had different stuff. So but it was all mostly stuff I've already had.
Yeah.
So it was nothing new.
Yeah, like Coors that you had the other night. Yeah.
One little and Corona.
I was so gonna comment, and then I saw that little note that you put. You like, don't judge me. I'm like, I'm going to.
Yeah, but one little thing I saw, I'd say 90% of the people that were attending this thing were wearing band T-shirts. I wear them all the time, and
you do?
The fonts that they use for these heavy metal bands are so out there, and the lettering is so weird. I couldn't even read them. I was like, what does it even say? I don't know if you ever noticed heavy metal bands logos and stuff. They use these crazy fonts. And I'm looking at these T-shirts. I'm like, I still don't know what that band is. I don't know what they're called. I can't read it. So it was like, it's like I'm thinking the people that design this maybe do something a little different so we can actually read what it says. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Now you have a second thing that you went to?
I did. It was the following Thursday. I actually drove to Phoenix on Wednesday.
Okay.
And I wanted to visit some Phoenix breweries while I was there, but I was so limited on time.
Yeah, it's like by the time you drove there, you're ready to drive back, basically.
Yeah, I drove there. I left like late morning, got there like around 4, checked into my hotel.
Wait, I'm sorry, how was the drive out there?
It's long and boring. It's 5 hours long.
Okay.
It actually took a little longer. I hit some traffic in Henderson, of all places. That backed me up some. Wow. And then when I got into Phoenix, it was hitting rush hour, and it was really backed up. I wanted to hit some breweries, but I was looking them up before I left, and they were either kind of far from my hotel, and I would have to let it be really expensive Uber, or they didn't serve food, and I wanted to eat too. That's kind of when we visit breweries, we like to eat too.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we'll try to find one brewery that has food, and then go to another brewery that for the beers. But I mean, you could even just eat and then go to that non-food brewery.
But I said, okay, it doesn't have to be a brewery. Let me just find places that serve craft beer that have some local beers that I can try. And I found one that was only 0.4 of a mile from my hotel. I could walk over. It was called Perry's Pizza. And I was a little disappointed in the place. The food wasn't that great.
What kind of pizza was it? Like style of pizza? Like thin crust, Chicago?
Yeah, it was more thin crust stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And just okay.
Okay.
And I tried some local brews that weren't bad, but I was just bored to death. The bar, there were two girls behind the bar. They weren't engaging at all. They were more talking amongst themselves, and there was not very many people in there. I couldn't strike up a conversation with other people sitting at the bar either. There was like hardly anyone there, and I was just bored.
Okay.
And I posted that I was there on the Las Vegas Brewery page on Facebook. And someone commented and said, hey, if you have time, check out a place called The Wandering Tortoise.
Okay.
So I typed it into Uber, saw it wasn't that far away, and it was a nice cheap Uber ride. So I was like,
now this is a strictly a pub or brewery, or
it was a craft beer bar, kind of like 595.
Okay.
They serve food there as well. Had I known that, I would have just gone there in the first place.
Straight there.
But so I Ubered over there, and it was a really cool bar. And the bartenders were engaging. I was talking to people, and I was having a good time. So yeah,
selection of beer, like how many on tap?
They had about 20 on draft.
It's not bad,
and it was a nice selection of different styles.
And that's like 595 right there, because they usually have 20, 21 on tap.
Yeah,
and then stuff to take home.
And they had 5 coolers full of canned and bottled beer if you wanted to take it with you. I considered it.
Should have stocked up, man.
I should have.
Come on.
In retrospect, I regret not doing that.
Yeah, you should have.
We'd be stocked up here for our podcast for the next 6 months. But in the end, I decided not to do that. The next day was concert day. The concert I've been waiting 2.5 years for. I think I've mentioned this before in an old podcast. Motley Crue was the band that got me into rock. I went to see them in concert, and they blew my mind. Totally turned me on to that whole genre. Motley Crue started it for me.
Okay.
And so when I heard they were reuniting and doing a stadium tour with Def Leppard, another band that I was really into back in the 80s, I was like, I got to go. Then they added Poison and Joan Jett to the bill, and it's like, I'm in.
Yeah, quite a lineup there.
Yeah. And I ended up having a successful day gambling one day here. I hit a royal flush. It was a progressive, so it was up there.
You didn't text me that.
This was
Did you?
No, this was years ago. This was back in 2020, before COVID.
Oh, okay.
And I decided to use that money to buy myself a really good seat to this concert. And at the time,
I remember this now.
Yes.
Okay.
At the time, they didn't have a Las Vegas show planned, and so I was either gonna have to go to Los Angeles, San Diego, or Phoenix. And I ended up picking Phoenix because it was on a Saturday. I wouldn't have to take a vacation day for it or anything. Turns out it all got messed up because of COVID. And I bought a 7th row seat for $1,000 with money I won. Yeah, I know. People are like, you paid $1,000 for a concert, but this one was special to me because of who was in there. And Motley Crue always had a special place in my heart because they turned me on. They made me somebody who enjoyed music and turned me into someone who became passionate about music.
Okay.
So I had to be at this concert, and I had to have a bomb-ass seat. So that's how I justified spending so much money on this, and I won the money. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, technically it's not like
right.
your money,
So then COVID happened. The tour got postponed. A year goes by. Concerts start up again, but some states were still kind of strict on it, so they postponed it another year. So it finally happened this summer. So for 2.5 years, I got this ticket for this concert, and I'm waiting for it. It finally gets
no refunds, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I bought it off StubHub, too, so I don't even know how that would have worked. So finally get down there, and I'd been to the stadium before for football, and it's kind of a cool place. It's a really nice stadium. They've had Super Bowls played there, and I walk in, and the place is just massive. I'm like looking around, and there's hardly anyone there yet. I was one of the first ones in the door, and I get to my seat, and there was actually a 5th band that played, but they're not advertised. They're called Classless Act, and I kind of felt bad for them because there's like hardly anyone in there. They went on like 20 minutes after they opened the doors, and hardly anyone's there. But they were pretty good. I watched them, and they only played 4 songs.
Okay.
But it was good. And then they were done, and Joan Jett came on. I wasn't sure what to expect from her. I like her music. Never seen her live before. She impressed me. Even her, I don't know how old she is now, but being as close as I was, I could see she's getting up there.
Aged, yeah.
Yeah. But her voice didn't fail. Her voice sounded great. Solid set.
Good.
2 thumbs up for Joan Jett.
Good.
Poison came out. I've seen Poison so many times over the years. I'd say probably 8 or 9 times. So good. They are just one of the most fun bands to see, and they're having fun. You can tell. They're all smiling and just running around the stage, and they're just having a blast. They love what they do, and it's infectious into the crowd. They're a fun live band.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Had a really good time with them, too. Joan Jett and Poison both did an hour each.
Okay.
Then came Motley Crue. And it was one of the most disappointing shows I've ever seen. I was so bummed. The mix was terrible. And I knew Vince Neil's voice wasn't the same. I'd seen him do some solo shows here in Vegas in recent years. He even played M3 one year and just bombed. In addition to being a really terrible mix that you couldn't really even distinguish one song from the next, his voice was just awful. It was one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. 90 minutes, and when they were done, I was just like, thank God they're done. Get these guys off the stage.
Like,
yeah.
one of the worst in, how long have you been going to shows?
Since the 80s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
I estimate I've been between 200 and 300 concerts in my life, and this is bottom 5, easy. They were so bad. And it was just such a letdown. But then Def Leppard came out last, and they saved the day because they were amazing. And Joe Elliott, the lead singer, he struggled on the high notes a couple times, but they were tight, and
Sounded at least
yeah, the mix was perfect. Yeah. You knew the songs as soon as they started it. It wasn't yeah. I don't know what was up with Def Leppard's sound. It just the mix. It was like bass heavy, and you could barely hear the guitars, and it was just.
It could also do the whole thing with like the sound guy, and
I'm sure the sound guy had something to do with it. Yeah, and then Vince, his voice is just so bad anymore. He can't sing to save his life anymore. It was embarrassing. People were just usually at rock concerts, everyone was on their feet and everything,
engaging,
and I'd say halfway through the set, half the people were sitting, and people were just getting bored with it and just like, okay, get these guys off the stage. It was bad, but that was so disappointing for me because I've been such a huge fan for 35 years, and
they're done.
To see that, I'm just like, I'll never go to a Motley Crue show again. I'm done with them. I'll listen to their CDs and all that, but as far as live concerts, I'm not wasting my money on them.
Yeah.
So that was my concert trips.
Any interesting craft beers when you were there?
I can't remember what they were, but I was trying to focus on the Phoenix breweries, and so I was having the local stuff, and I had some good ones, but I don't remember the names.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and you've been on a lot of either trips or
I've done quite a bit of traveling this year.
Yeah, you have. And I think you're about done, right, for this year?
Yeah, probably not again until M3 maybe, which would be May.
May, yeah. And then our thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about later, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, for you, it's been between, what was your first trip of this year?
That was right at the beginning of the year when me and Todd went to Detroit to see the Lions and Packers play.
What month?
That was in January.
January, okay. Yeah. So from January till now, you've been on a lot of trips.
To Detroit, Columbus, Boston, Baltimore, Miami, Tampa, Atlanta, Phoenix. So it's 8 cities right there I've been to.
Yeah, either music, baseball, and it just, wow. You've done a lot. Probably one of your busiest years, right?
Yeah. Probably the busiest, yeah.
Because even some of them were last minute.
Yeah, like when me and my mom visited my brother in Columbus and we saw a hockey game, that was like, we planned that like 2 weeks in advance and just did it. Yeah.
Wow. All right then.
Yeah.
Are we ready for our second beer?
I am.
I'm ready. Yeah,
All right.
I am. I'm struggling here to get another beer going. And so we're gonna do another pumpkin this one I think is almost classified as a pumpkin slash yam beer, and it is called Night Owl.
Yes, it is.
By
Elysian? Is that how you pronounce it?
I was trying to pronounce it like the other day.
Yeah.
Was it Ellison or Elysian? Something like that.
Yeah.
And
I've had beers from this brewery before.
yeah, I think we both have.
Yeah.
Once I bring up Untapped here, because Untapped has been kind of goofy right now, like kind of slow or whatever. But as soon as I can bring it up, because I forgot what state Elysian is from, and Seattle.
Okay.
That was actually when we were planning on wanting to revisit Seattle. I was wanting us to go to their brewery. I think it's more up north. Like it would be somewhat of a good Uber ride.
Okay.
But this is a pumpkin yam beer, 6.7 APV.
That's up there.
Yes, it is. And it says it's brewed with over 7 pounds of pumpkin, 7 pounds of pumpkin per barrel. It includes 7 different malt varieties, roasted pumpkin seeds, pumpkin mash, boiled and fermented, conditioned with nutmeg, clove, cinnamon, ginger, and allspice. Wow.
Yeah, that's
So it seems like it's got a somewhat of a pretty like a heavy brewing process there.
I can taste the pumpkin and yams. Yeah.
Actually, you can probably smell it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not the nose ain't that strong, but actually you can really taste the spices in it.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I think you can probably taste the spices more than the pumpkin.
Yeah, this is almost thicker than the porter.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty good. I like it just for the fact that you can actually, like, it's got pretty much the same spices as the first one we tried.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, you can almost distinguish the different spices in this one than you can, the other one.
This one has a little more flavor.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 3.75.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. Wow. How did we agree?
I know. We never agree.
Twice in a row. Our movies and TV shows can be pretty much the same. Like, we like the same things, we hate the same things, or just like the same, same
Mm-hmm.
things. Beer, we're all over the place.
Ooh,
But
I got a badge. Gourd to the last drop. Gourd as in
so you've had,
Gourd.
and that's your first level. So you've had 5 pumpkin beers already.
Apparently.
Yeah. Very nice. And I'm sure I'm probably going to get that here shortly here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this Night Owl. If you can find Night Owl by Elysian. Yeah, pick it up, because if you're in the mood for a fall, something with spice, something along those lines, pick up this beer, because it's actually really good. So let me check in here really quick, and then we can get on with, because we're going to talk about some of the beer stuff we're going to do here.
Yes.
Coming up.
We got some big plans coming up. So.
Yeah, very, very big. One more second here. Let me check in on Untapped. And we will be set to go here. And we'll see if I get a badge. Middle of the road, 86.
Ooh, you're getting up there.
No pumpkin thing yet.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm not getting, because
I must have had one more than you
yeah,
did. Yeah.
probably somewhere along those lines.
I was having a lot of pumpkin beers last year, I remember. So.
Were you?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't even remember that. Okay, so next up, we are, and then after I toast you here on Untapped, we now this was what just mere weeks ago, we found out about 2 weeks ago, we found out about this first year for this where I used to work, but where you currently work.
My current employer,
Yeah.
your former one, yes.
Yeah. The Orleans Casino is hosting some kind of an Oktoberfest thing, and not bad because it's small. I would say it's probably really, really small because tickets are only like $12-14.
Right.
And it's not even I think we have to. Don't we have to? I don't think it's beer sampling free.
I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
looked that deep into it, but
Because like most festivals, it's like free beer sampling, but then the ticket prices are pretty pricey.
right.
But like this one,
We're probably gonna have to buy them. Yeah.
yeah. So, but whatever. I mean, it's something different to do, and we'll see if we end up doing it again. If they end up doing it again.
Yeah. If it's successful
But,
when they bring it
yeah.
back. Yeah.
So we got that coming up, and so it'll be fun to try. But we don't even know the variety or the different. I mean,
Yeah. We don't know what breweries are gonna be
Yeah,
there.
if it's out of state, whatever, it's pretty brand new, and there's not a lot of information. So
What I'm wondering is, because it's an Oktoberfest thing, is it going to be like all German style beers?
well, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it may just be either German style or maybe things that could be classified like what we're drinking here.
Right.
You know, that could be stuff that's put out for Oktoberfest or whatnot. So yeah, I mean, we'll find out, and you know, when we go, we'll report on it. You know, and see what we think about it, and we'll give our thoughts on that. No cameras allowed, but because it'd been nice to take footage for the podcast, but well, I don't know. I emailed them, so I'm gonna see if I can get some kind of a media pass on it, but I don't know. But then something that we've been batting back and forth on, you know, for what our next trip's going to be for next year, because we always do a major trip together, at least once a year, sometimes multiple times of the year. But for us together, we're only doing one, and we've been batting back and forth, trying to link up baseball with traveling and some breweries, and it's been Colorado, Texas, or Anaheim, or whatever. And we were just about ready to do Anaheim as a plan, and then I came up with something that I found about, a week ago.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for, 40 years?
And we're just now finding out about it. Yeah.
Just now finding out about the Great American Beer Festival, or the GABF, like people just like to say for short. And probably they're saying it's like one of the most extensive beer festivals ever. And
it's in Denver, which is a place we've been wanting to visit for a long time.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
seems like every time we're ready to go there, first time COVID messed it up, and
Yeah.
then other times it just seems like it just never works into our plans.
yeah. And because we're really trying to plan it for Pirate baseball. And then that's why we batted back and forth with going somewhere else, and Anaheim and whatnot. And then, even though that we're doing baseball with Denver, what pushed us over going back to Denver was the beer festival.
Right.
And so we're going to go for 2 days, and I think over 4,000 or 5,000 beers, something like that, or something crazy like that. I mean,
yeah.
You
know more than I do.
Yeah, I'm doing my homework on it, but there's a lot of beers for us to try, and of course we're not going to try all of them.
No.
Actually, you know what's kind of funny is here. You know what we need, and here I'll play this audio. This is what we need.
This is trichloromethylene. It counters all effects
Yes,
of alcohol
Revenge of the
in your
Nerds.
system.
Yeah, I mean, how is there not a pill where it counter affects all the alcohol in your system?
Well, they made it up for the movie. It doesn't really
I know,
exist,
but what
yeah,
I'm saying is, how has somebody not come up with this yet?
Yeah.
screw curing cancer.
Yeah.
You know, come out with a pill where it counterfeits all the alcohol in your system.
They know how to cure cancer. They just don't want
Well,
to.
yeah, of course they do. But seriously, can you imagine if there was a pill where it counterfeits all? I mean, and I'm not talking about like, hey, you can go drunk driving or whatever. No, what I'm saying is like, you know, how much beer and how much more fun that you could have at a beer festival. You could literally try all the beers there.
Yeah.
If it doesn't affect your mind, your system, or whatever, you know.
Like that World of Coca-Cola I went to when I was in Atlanta, where you can sample all of the different
which I've done
forms
too,
of Coke from countries that they have like special ones just for that country. You know?
Yeah.
And I was going around doing that, and I was trying them all.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because I was just thinking about that the other day, and I was like, man, that'd be great. You know, if you could just go to that beer festival, and you could try every single beer that they offer, basically. But yeah, so we're gonna do that, and it's in right now. It's gonna be the beginning of October for this year, and the next year it's September. They're doing it a little bit earlier. And
which helps us see baseball with it. So
which helps us see. We're going to do Giant baseball.
Yeah, we see the Giants play the Rockies. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was either Giants or Dodgers. And
Yeah.
Not seeing the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm done with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Their fans are the biggest douchebags.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And so it worked out. It's like, hey, we get to squeeze in a stadium that needs to be taken off the list. And we do the big brewery. We're going to go for 2 days. It's available for 3. We're going to go for 2. And then we're going to hit up all the other breweries that we can on our off day or the free day.
There's so many in Denver. It's just there's no way we can get them all in one trip.
I found 25 so far on the list.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if we can do all 25 that I found on the list. One of them is at the airport in Denver. So that makes it, but I want to see if we can do it.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
We're going to give it our best shot.
Well, heck yeah. I mean, hey, even if we have one beer at every brewery, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And so that is,
but the thing is, if it's a cool place and we're enjoying ourselves or playing good music, we're not going to want to stay for just one.
Well, yeah, that too.
Okay.
Yeah. And, now, that place allows cameras, but it's subjective on what kind of camera you can bring in. So I'm trying to see if I'm going to see if I can bring in my camera rig, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
So 'cause it'll be 4K video and just still photography too. So I'll do both video and pictures. So we'll see how that goes. In due time, maybe a media pass too. I'm hoping, but because if we like it, I want to go again.
Yeah,
definitely. Like if we have a blast,
it could turn out to be a yearly thing, like me and Todd do with M3.
That's what I was thinking about the other day. It's like if we have such a good time and we enjoy all the beers that we have, and it's a great time, then it might have to be, because they have their dates up until 2028, I think.
Wow.
That they have dates for. So yeah, and they're on their 40th, and they're making a big deal about it. But can you imagine in 10 years, their 50th anniversary, they're probably gonna do something really special, like really, really, because they're already doing something really, really special. But like for 50.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That could be their big one. So, but yeah, so we'll see and it'll be our first major beer festival, because we did a tiny little tasting thing.
One of the local breweries here in Vegas we went to. That was around this time last year.
Yeah,
I think it was right before Halloween.
And it was we paid like some kind of entrance fee, but we got tickets, and it was like so many tickets per pour or something like that. But this one in Denver is $95 for a general admission, and you get as much beer as you want for 1 ounce pours.
Right.
And now do the math. I mean, 1 ounce pours, and it's for 5 hours.
That's not even a shot. That's tiny. So
Yeah, and if you hydrate well and you eat pretty good before you go, and if you have a pretty good high tolerance to alcohol, I'm guessing like you could. Somebody was saying, I can't remember if it was within a day or two. They said they did 70.
Okay.
Now,
that's only 70 ounces. That's not that a lot of beer at all. No.
But, and I'm thinking it was in one day pass thing. So, I mean, even if we get, and we're going for 2 days, so if we could squeeze in at least 100 new beers that we've never tried, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Especially when we can do a big variety of, which I want to try to do. Like, I don't want to just do, you don't want to do all IPAs.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I mean, you want to do porters, you want sours, because
blondes and hefts and everything. Yeah,
we might discover something that we like that that we might not generally want to try. And that's the whole point of, and they're just 1 ounce. I mean, even if you hate the beer, 1 ounce. It's not like you, because like you've mentioned this before, where you hate to buy a 6-pack of something that you've never tried before,
right,
because if the beer sucks, then you got 5 bottles that you gotta I gotta finish this off. Like I've got beer in my fridge, like that Pina Colada beer.
Ew.
That, oh my god, that's still from 2 years ago. That's in my fridge.
I remember when you bought that. It was right around when COVID hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2.5 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
You probably should just dump it. It's been there that long.
Well, yeah, probably will. But now I've got now the only reason I bought the 6-pack of the pumpkin stuff was to try it for the podcast, but knowing pretty well that I was both of us were gonna like it. So now I got lots of bottles of beer to finish off that I know I'm gonna enjoy. But so even having a 1 ounce thing that's okay, yeah, I hate it, but I can get it down like a shot, you know. So it'll be a fun time, and there's food trucks there, and people dress up really crazy, they get into it, and I think it could be a really good time.
Yeah,
I really think so. And it's so funny is that they don't allow food inside because they sell food inside there, but they allow food necklaces. So first of all, because they've been doing this for 40 years, and in the beginning it was just pretzel necklaces. So whether it be you take the pretzels out of the package and you string it up like in a necklace, or you can have the actual package and you just clip it, But then people got creative and they started being more relaxed on beef jerky, fruit snacks, people rice cakes that I saw. So they string up anything basically that's so as long as it's on your body in a necklace, they allow you to bring it in food-wise.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I've seen some pictures, like if you go on Yelp under Great American Beer Festival, there's over 400 pictures, and all these people string up all kinds of food. So it's, because besides hydrating, you want to have at least something in your system while you're drinking beer. And some are actually pretty creative, So I figured like you, because you like what, M&Ms or something like that, or what do you always have in the hotel room?
The peanut butter M&Ms. Yeah.
Peanut butter M&Ms, yeah. So it's just something that would be pretty cool to string up on a necklace, and they allow you to take it in. So yeah. I like my beef jerky, so that's what I'll probably do.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just thought it was kind of interesting, kind of funny that people really get into this.
See how creative you can get with it. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, not just to string it up, but they almost like it's a costume almost.
Yeah.
It's they get very creative on how they do it too. yeah, so I mean, we're not going until a year.
It's
a
year
year
away.
from now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm already planning it.
Yeah.
So yeah, which we have to, because tickets go on sale like next June or July, something like that. And but yeah, so there'll be a lot of planning for us to do once we know what the beer list is.
Mm-hmm.
So and so yeah, so we got that coming up. I think that's about it for. I mean, you have M3 next year, but
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Oh, we're doing. Aren't we going to try to hit up some downtown breweries here?
We were talking about that. Yeah, we
Okay.
should do that.
Yeah.
Find a place to stay and just
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll see if we can
hit the arts district
Yeah.
downtown. And yeah.
because there was like at least 4 or 5 breweries.
One of them we've been to and we didn't like. That was Craft House. But
yeah, ones that
Yeah.
scolded you for.
Yeah, because I gave them a mediocre review on Yelp,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Well, because
they couldn't handle it.
what didn't we like? It was
The
for
music
one, it
was bad. We
yeah.
felt like we were like in a coffee house, not a brewery. And it
yeah.
was just,
Oh yeah, that's right. The coffee
It-
house place.
It was just a really
And
dull atmosphere. Yeah.
They responded back. It's like, well, do you want it to look like all the others? And it's just like, well, just
I
not
want to feel like
getting-
I'm in a bar, not a coffee house. You know?
Yeah. I mean, almost like, I hate to use the term hippie-ish, but I mean, it's,
Kind of.
or not hip, I'm sorry, not hippie, like a yuppie type, you know, like, I don't know. It was just, yeah, I didn't like, and I never did my review yet, because I don't want to be scolded. Even though that we're Yelp elites, you know, it's like,
And
I don't know.
I wasn't bothered by the scolding. I was actually amused by it.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Remember when we went to the place in Seattle that was a pub, and they had 2 beers?
Oh yeah, that was
Remember?
the British style place. Yeah.
Yeah.
White
And-
Horse. It was called White Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I left a review, and I think it was an employee or maybe a friend of the employee, and she's like, reviews like yours are we sit around and we laugh at people like you. And I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, I'm just trying to give you my honest opinion. You have 2 beers, they're warm, which I understand, because if you're trying to mimic what a British pub is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, sorry, we're back.
There we go.
We had audio cut out for some reason. But
If you're mimicking a British pub, yeah.
yeah, if you're mimicking a British pub, then yeah, of course you're going to have your beer at room temperature. But two selections of beer,
Yeah. Warm beer number 1 and warm beer number 2. That's basically what
Yeah.
it was.
And
the rest they said they were basically a whiskey bar, but we didn't realize that going in. Yeah.
And we like the atmosphere too.
I loved it inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend who
But-
lives in Seattle joined us. And we were
Yeah, I
hanging out with
remember
her.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. So yeah, I just like it when people like scold you for you know, leaving not.
And it wasn't a bad review I gave. I was basically saying I think I gave them 3 stars.
Yeah.
And gave the reasons why, and they couldn't handle it.
Okay. Yeah, they couldn't. Yeah. Well, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But well, because you know, like if you ever like, I like to do a lot of searching through Yelp reviews and how businesses react, and some people can be just strictly assholes when they're leaving a review, and they're like, oh, this place is shit, and this, you know, stuff like that. But then there are other people that will leave a negative review, but do it like, well, this is why I didn't like it. And then the businesses will be like, well, we're sorry for that. And, you know, but like when some of them just come back and they go, well, you know, you're stupid for not, you know,
Right.
liking this, or, you know. So, yeah, it's funny. Just on how reactions, you know, that you get from your reviews.
One place I went to in Baltimore, I gave a bad review to because we didn't see the waitress for like 45 minutes. And we had to actually flag down a different waitress from a different section to get
I
what we
remember you
needed.
tell me that.
And when I put that in my review, whoever it was from the restaurant or whatever said, "Hey, if you're ever back in town, let me know. We'll hook you up next time." Basically, so basically apologizing for what happened, you know. So sometimes leaving a bad review can have some positive effects. So if we ever go back to that place, I'll let them know. It's like, "Hey, I'm coming back. What are you going to do for us?" You know?
Yeah. All right. But I think that's it for our trip plans.
Yeah.
So what I want to do now is there's 2 stories that we can talk about really quick.
Okay.
Actually, one really quick. That's an observation. There's just something I was just thinking about the other day. So, if she blinded you with science, can you sue the bitch?
I imagine you could.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like if she's gonna blind you with science, like sulfuric acid, you know.
She needs to be more careful with that shit.
I know, right? I mean, yeah. But yeah, I would assume
that's
that
just negligence.
Yeah, I would assume that you could sue her.
Yeah.
But, so yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go to this news article here. It's coming up on screen. So, like, you're very familiar with Panty's vending machine, right?
What?
You're come on. You've heard of that, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. In Japan, they have Panty vending machines.
Interesting. Okay.
I know, right? Okay, so there's this article I came across, beer vending machines.
Mm-hmm.
And
I saw that when I was in London.
Yeah. But this one is strictly being talked about, of course, Japan. And like, why aren't they available here? And so let me scroll down to this news article here. And it actually says that beer vending machines have been around since the 19th century.
Wow.
which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And it says that, let's see. I'm trying to come up with that information here. And it was saying about the one big issue is about being carded, ID'd, you know.
Yeah.
And it was saying that they're trying to come up with different ways about how that can be done. Like, it would either scan your ID, or you would have to buy special tokens, where you would get carded then, and then you use those special tokens. But it seems to me like people, just like with technology, and things can be copied and things can be, they find ways around of trying to either get it for free or just to work around, like, hey, you have to be 21. Well, they can work around that. They can find some way.
Well, tokens, I could buy the tokens and give them to somebody, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, hey, you get the tokens, like, hey, 5-year-old, here, go get a beer, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not saying go do that, but I'm just saying, like, there's messed up people in the world which will do that, you know? So I thought that was kind of interesting, and there's no way it's going to happen in the United States. I
don't see it happening now.
No, but I would like to see the panties vending machine. Though.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? You know, I mean, you want to go out and buy fresh panties in a vending machine. Why not?
Yeah.
But no, so it'd be. It would be interesting if there was like a craft beer vending machine. You know, but I mean, really, if you're a craft beer connoisseur like us,
yes,
you'd want draft.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's okay to get stuff in cans, and which we've done before, but it's just like, okay, or if there's like another lockdown, then like, hey, you can just like Redbox, just go get your movie and a beer, So yeah, so it'd be interesting, but there's no way it could happen in the United States, just because there's just too many ways around of counterfeiting it, or I don't know. People find ways. They do. People find ways. Yeah. So the next thing, I came across this article. every movie from the 80s and the 90s that have got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And you know what Rotten Tomatoes is, right? Okay, so these movies have got a 0%. I want to see if either you've seen them or I've seen them. Okay.
Shoot.
The first one is Staying Alive, 1983.
Never saw it.
I have
John
never
Travolta's
seen
in
it.
it, right? Yeah, but I never saw it.
It's available on Pluto TV. It's saying, but I have no interest in wanting to see Staying Alive. I don't. So I don't know how bad it is. I've heard it's bad, like really like probably one of the worst like John Travolta movies besides Battlefield Earth. But
Yeah, that's got to be. I never saw it, but I've heard horrible things about it.
You don't
Yeah.
like Ghostbusters 2016. Do not. It's like opening the Ark of the Covenant. Don't do it. Don't look directly into it.
Sometimes I thought maybe I'd like to watch it just to see how bad it really is, but
I'm telling you, you want to watch it. I got a free copy of it on one of my accounts. I don't know how the hell that happened. You say the word and I will suffer.
if
I will
I'm ready
suffer.
to torture myself someday, maybe.
Yeah. When you're ready to see how bad that movie is,
Yeah.
I will gladly suffer the pain of watching that again with you.
I remember I bought the book probably mid 80s and I never read it. I had it, never read it. I didn't even know who L. Ron Hubbard was at the time and how he was a Scientology wacko. But I remember buying that book and it was really thick, like close to 1,000 pages probably. And I just, whatever reason, I never got around to reading it.
Well, both movies are bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're ready to watch Ghostbusters 2016,
No, thank you.
no. But Riff Tracks did Battlefield Earth, and it's
Yeah.
so much
Maybe
more.
I'd watch that version.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you should. Okay, so the next movie, Bolero, 1984. I don't know.
Never heard of it.
Romantic drama film starring Bo Derek, directed by her husband John Derek.
Huh.
She searches for the man with whom she wants to experience her first sexual encounter. Wow.
Bo Derek was pretty hot. I don't think it'll be her first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 1987, Jaws: The Revenge. Did you ever see it?
I've seen quite a few Jaws movies and some of the sequels. That specific one I couldn't say for certain.
I haven't.
Okay.
I've seen the first Jaws. I haven't seen.
I know I saw the
of them.
first three. The third one was in 3D. I saw it in the theaters.
You did see it in 3D.
Yeah.
Really?
And then
I
beyond
saw
that, I'm not sure.
Okay, now I remember seeing a very little bit of Jaws 3D because they did a promotion with 7-Eleven where it debuted on TV in 3D and you had to go and pick up 3D glasses at 7-Eleven. I saw just a tiny bit of it, but it broadcasted on TV in 3D though. Yep, I remember that. The next movie, which I've seen, and I actually like this movie. I'm sorry, I like it. Police Academy 4: Citizens on Patrol.
Okay.
From 1987.
There's so many Police Academy movies. They all blend together to me, so I couldn't say for certain if I saw it or not.
There's seven
Yeah.
Police Academy movies.
And I don't know if I ever saw any of them start to finish, but if I'm flipping through channels and come across one, I'll watch a little bit of it.
The major actress that I think it's her first movie, who is it?
Don't know.
Sharon Stone.
Really? She was in a Police Academy? Wow. Never knew that.
She played the love interest with Steve Guttenberg.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen this movie. It's bad. 1990 Problem Child.
Never
It's
saw
bad.
it.
Oh, it's bad.
Okay.
Yeah, don't see it. I heard that the second one is bad, and I think they did a direct sequel 3, Problem Child 3. Yeah, they're all bad. Shockingly, right?
Wow. Yeah.
I know, you're shocked, right? Another one that I have not seen, Highlander 2, The Quickening, 1991.
Nope,
with
never saw it.
Sean Connery.
Okay.
Yeah, I never seen any of the Highlander movies.
I don't think I have either.
Which, they're in high regards. I mean, people actually like 1 and 2 for different reasons.
Okay.
But, the next one. Now, I've never seen either one of these. Return to the Blue Lagoon.
Yes, I did see it.
What, the sequel?
I saw the original and the sequel.
Really?
Yes.
I've never seen either one.
Yeah.
Now, the sequel, just to see Mila Jovovich, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, she's hot.
Yes, she
come
is.
on now. Yeah, so that'd be a reason just to see the movie right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why they would.
That got 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. It wasn't
The
great,
sequel.
but I didn't think it was that bad.
I just can't imagine why they would
Yeah.
feel the need to do a sequel to Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
They
It's-
basically just rehashed the plot and.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this I've not seen. I've heard of it from 1992 called Folks. Folks, like parents.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got Tom Selleck and is it Donna Michi? I can't remember that. I'm trying to read really quick if it gives the cast, but I've not seen that movie.
Me neither.
It says that Tom Selleck finding himself nominated for Worst Actor as a Razzie for that movie.
Okay.
Let's see. The next one I have seen, and I've seen all 3 of these, and Look Who's Talking Now from 1993.
Yeah, I saw the first one. Second one I caught bits and pieces of. This one I don't think I did.
The second one is when they brought in a talking girl
and
baby.
Roseanne Barr was doing the voice, yeah.
And then the third one is when they had the animals started talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
And I remember at the end of the first Look Who's Talking, when the little girl was born, it was... What's the actress's name? She replaced Johnny Carson sometimes when he was taking his break.
Oh, good God.
But it was her voice.
From Spaceballs.
Can we talk? That one.
From Spaceballs.
Was she in that? Okay.
Yeah, as Dot Matrix.
Yeah.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Joan
trying to
Rivers.
think. I'm so bad with names. I'm the worst. But it was her voice at the very end of the movie. And then when they did the sequel, they switched to Roseanne.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Now, was this John Candy's last movie, Wagons East, from 1994?
Could have been, yeah.
It's directed by what's his face? Is it Christopher Guest? I can't remember if maybe I'm making a mistake there, but never seen. And it's got
I didn't see it, no.
just the odd pairing. It's got Richard Lewis and John Candy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's like chairman of the board when you got Courtney Thorne Smith and Carrot Top.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. You
Yeah,
know.
he's got a shot with her.
Yeah. Which is so funny is that if you're a fan of Norm Macdonald, he's on, I might have shown you this clip. He's on Conan O'Brien with Courtney Thorne Smith, and she's promoting Chairman of the Board movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Norm Macdonald's been making all these jokes and everything, and so finally Conan O'Brien asked her, like, what's the name of the movie? And she's like, well, it's Chairman of the Board. And so Conan's like, okay, smart ass, do something with that. And Norman's like, hey, I know how it's spelled, B-O-R-E-D.
Oh.
But it's probably like one of the funniest things that you'll ever see, just because how it's delivered and just the whole thing. And Courtney Thorne Smith is just having a great time with them and everything. And So look it up on YouTube. It's the Norm Macdonald, Conan O'Brien with Courtney Thorne Smith, and how he's just ragging on her for being in a Carrot Top movie.
Yeah.
The last movie, I hear it's pretty bad, and I've never seen it, but it was released in 1999.
Okay.
Simon Says, S-E-Z. That's how it's spelled.
Okay. I don't
And
think I've
it's
seen
got
it.
Dennis Rodman in it. And what was the plot? Something about he's there's a Interpol agent attempting to unravel a kidnapping plot.
This isn't the one he did with Van Damme, is it?
No. That was Double Team.
Okay, yeah. I saw that one. But
Oh, did you?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, don't waste your time on it. Yeah.
It's like Double Team, I think, is what, 92 or 93, something like that.
It was sometime in the 90s, yeah. I couldn't say for sure.
And I heard Double Team was pretty bad. But this Simon Says it, very, like, it's horrid. Like, probably like one of those movies you would have a good time just getting drunk and making fun of it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, which is not a bad thing, you know.
No.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it, folks.
Okay.
And we did our beers, and we had some good stories, and our plans for next year. So, all good. And
hopefully we'll do this again soon.
Yeah, we should. We should. Well, I know we might want to hit up 595 next time because
Probably.
you're buying. So
it's my turn.
Yeah, your turn. So we'll be back for another episode. Hopefully, we should maybe try to get more fall pumpkin type of beers.
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, try to, because I think what we can do is with podcasts between like now and maybe even the beginning of January, do either fall or Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Unless something really comes our way where that's just like a normal IPA or something, but try to show off some of these fall beers, Oktoberfest beers that are coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So until next time, I'm John, and you're... Oh, I'm sorry, what's your name again?
I don't have a name. They don't need to know it.
Okay, Susie. So, okay. So we'll see you next time.
All right.
Thank you for watching.